It's a family affair. It's a family affair. From the politicians singing.
Hey, Purple World. It's Clint.
And Masina.
And we're here in Harlem with our friend, my lifelong friend, it seems.
I know, right?
Tonya Giddens. Now, we're talking to Tonya because, you know, she's been around the Prince circle for a long time.
Oh, for a minute I thought you were going to say I've been around the block. I was going to say I beg your pardon.
You've been around the world, girl. But...
And I.
But anyway, and you know, she's established herself in, you know, the world of cosmetics and in the world of fashion. So we're going to talk to her about that aside from the Prince stuff that, you know, we're going to really get into because that's coming up soon.
Okay.
Pay attention. So, Tonya.
Yes.
Tell us about your beginnings in the world of fashion, cosmetics.
Well, I was born the daughter of a sharecropper in a cotton field in Alabama. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wait, we have to. Tonya hails from Brooklyn.
Yes,
right?
born and raised in the streets of
that
Brooklyn.
came up in the story.
So what?
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, born and raised. The home of Lena Horne, Mike Tyson, Eddie Rabbit, who's a country singer. Y'all didn't know about that.
I love a rainy night.
There you go.
Don't
go.
question me with music.
I used to watch Solid Gold, honey.
Oh, I love Solid Gold.
The Dionne Warwick era. The others were kind of corny.
What, you don't like Marilyn McCool?
Marilyn was okay, but she just wasn't.
She was prettier.
Yeah, Marilyn is an icon in her own right. But we'll talk about that later. But Rick Dees was the worst host ever. Ever.
He's radio.
Yes. But anyway, I digress. I was born in Brooklyn, went to private school, went to the High School of Music and Art, the Fame School. And yes, we did dance on tables. Yes, we did. We had a good time. A lot of people came out of there and have gone on to wonderful careers. So, yeah, I'm not as famous as most, but you know, I stay in my lane, and you may not know me, but you know what I do.
You're famous in your own right, all right?
Some would say.
Yeah,
some would say
that.
that.
You got your things going on, you got your stuff organized, you got your thing.
Okay, fair enough.
So you are the beauty director for
Full Figured Fashion Week. Full Figured Fashion Week is actually the groundbreaking event that happens every year. It was created in 2009 by Gwen DeVoe, the fashion icon. If you don't know her, Google her. She's very important to the history of the plus size industry. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And I actually started off as a model, as a plus model, and when Gwen was creating Full Figured Fashion Week, she said, you know, I'm doing this. We actually went to a Fashion Week event and there were no plus models, which kind of sparked her to do Full Figured Fashion Week. And she said, well, I'm getting ready to do this tour, this mini tour. And she said, you can either model or you can be a production. You can't do both. At the time, I was like, yes, I can do both. And we had one show, and you remember that game, Run Yourself Ragged?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I ran myself ragged. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna do production. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop modeling, because afterward I did other shows. I just didn't do them with her because that would be a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I went on production, and she asked me to helm the beauty team. And the beauty team is basically, it kind of evolved into beauty director, which means that I handle the hair and the makeup for the models, and the models can be from 45 to 50 models per show.
Wow.
And I also have to assemble the hair and makeup team. That can be about 15 people per team. So we're talking about maybe 75, 80 people total that I kind of have to oversee for all the events. So I've been doing that since we started in 2009. And here's an interesting fact. We started Full Figured Fashion Week, the first day of Full Figured Fashion Week was June 25th, 2009. That's the day Michael Jackson died.
2009.
June 25th, 2009. And like no one really cares well, some do, but that's also the same day that Farrah Fawcett died and
Right.
Ed McMahon.
Ed McMahon.
But when Michael died, that was all our press was gone.
Well, that swallowed the world.
That was it,
Yeah.
you know. But we bounced back from that, and we've been going ever since. So we took a break this year. We do it every June. We took a break, and now we're coming back 2020 with a clear view. Get it, 2020 clear view. Yeah, that was cute, right? Okay. So yeah, we're really excited about it. There are a lot of different things that we're working on, so it's going to be great.
What do you have to do to be a part of that as a model?
As a model, it's the plus industry is it's an industry. It's all in who you know, but the most important thing about being a model is knowing your stuff. You have to eat, sleep, breathe everything about being a model. Know the main players, know the history of plus modeling, because that is so essential to you kind of moving forward. And that's the thing with a lot of these young plus models now. I call them Instagram models. All they want are likes.
Right.
But likes don't put money in your pocket.
Well, they kind of do.
Not the
Because
way,
then
not lasting.
Because then they
It's
get
not-
sponsorship and all that.
Yeah,
not
but it's not the
lasting.
same.
It's not the same.
Exactly, it's not
It's
lasting.
mostly an ego-driven thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
It really is.
You're
Yeah.
established. I mean, you're established among
Yeah,
social
and-
media, but it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But for us, we have a certain look. You have to be a certain height, a certain size. We start at size 14. So size 14 and up, you have to have a look, and you have to be able to walk. You can't just slump down the runway like you going to the grocery store. You know.
Aw.
That's your
You
weakness.
know, so I mean, it's a lot of different factors.
Is
that
it
go into-
challenging? Do you find challenges in it
Absolutely.
within the fashion industry?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember when I was modeling, and I used to do a lot of shows in Jersey and Philly and Virginia. I would sit there and just get myself mentally prepared for a show, and the straight models would come up to me and say, "Oh, are you the entertainment for the show?" Like all big girls are supposed to sing
Yeah.
for the, for their supper. And I'm like, no, I'm here to model. And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
But then I would blaze them on the runway, and it's like, oh, we didn't know you could walk. Why do you think I'm here, sweetie? You know, so we used to get that a lot. But now, it's changed. There's so many people that whose shoulders that I stand on. And I hope that the next generation, they're standing on my shoulders. They're not trying to step on me and step over my head to get what they want. But I hope that they're learning as they go along, because that's essential.
Cool. You are, because we're going to get into the Prince stuff.
Right.
You are a self-professed Prince snob.
Yes, I am. It took me a long time to admit it, going to different events and
Really? You had
people.
to admit to yourself that
I
you're a
did.
snob?
I really did.
A Prince snob.
I'm not as much of a snob as others,
True.
but I am, because if someone mentions, well, what's your favorite Prince song? Oh, Purple Rain. Like, sweetie.
Yeah, I roll my eyes every time.
I'm like, sweetie, there's more to life than just Purple Rain.
I remember a long time ago, I was on a date. And, we were talking about each other, and she was like, oh, you like Prince? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I love Prince. Purple Rain's my favorite album. And I was like, I said, don't ever say that.
Like, that's the
Prince
last
fan."
date you went on.
I mean, because, that's really the only album anybody knows.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
like Prince and Michael Jackson and Thriller.
Yeah.
There's more to him. He's got like almost 40
Absolutely.
albums.
Yes.
Figure it out.
Yes, more than 40 if you count the bootlegs.
Exactly.
But that's another story.
Well, the unreleased and all
Yeah, that's another story.
Well, we'll do something about that.
Yeah, but I think that with, people, when they say that, I'm just like, oh, poor thing. And then when I say, well, do you know, Super Cute or, Adonis and Bathsheba? They're like, what's that? It's like, no, sweetie, that's, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
And they don't know what they're missing, man. I mean,
Exactly.
It's like there's a whole.
There's just so much more.
It's such an experience that they don't realize.
Right.
They know that one rock album, but they don't know Sign of the Times. They might have heard of it, but they might not have
I
listened.
think
Right.
They don't know Parade.
Yeah.
They don't
Anybody
know.
who actually continue after Purple Rain and listen to Parade, they would have got stuck because it was
Yeah.
a whole different, I don't say genre, but style and sound, and it was like it reached.
Well, everything after
So many-
Purple Rain, he just went experiment crazy.
Yeah.
He really did. He really did.
Like everything up to Purple Rain made sense.
Yeah.
You know, the progression of it.
Yes.
But then after Purple Rain, he went around the world in a day.
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, because people were like,
I was one of them.
What?
I mean, I wasn't discouraged, but I was like,
No.
what the hell is that?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then I kept listening to it and I loved it. And then, you know, I went to Parade, I was like, holy crap, it's different again.
And I think that's what he liked to do. He liked to keep people guessing, you know, so.
So it didn't get boxed in.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've actually created some events for the past couple of years in the Purple community. How about you tell us about that?
Okay, well, the Purple Paisley Brunch is an event that I created in let's say 2019, about 2 years ago. It actually came from an idea after, and I say this because let me just backtrack. When I was growing up, I thought that Prince was just like everything, like, oh, he's gonna be my boyfriend. He's this, that, and the third. And then when I realized his height, I was like, oh yeah, he can't be my boyfriend. He's too short. So he became my uncle.
Your uncle.
So when that happened, then he became my uncle. So I call him Uncle Prince. And I've called him that for many years.
Right.
So when he passed, it left a really large void. It was such a great loss because he was part of the mass exodus of 2016. The year it started off with Mr. Bowie dying,
Right.
and then it ended with George Michael. And there were so many other people in the middle. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
Maurice White.
It was a horrible year.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I remember people saying, why are you making such a big deal about this year? And I was like,
It was bad.
I said, all my music heroes are dying.
Yeah, and it just so happened that this particular year, everybody was just a mass exodus. That's what I call it. And when he passed, the year later, I was talking with Jerome Benton, the legendary Jerome Benton from the time, who's been a guest on your show. And I said to him, you know, why don't you come to New York and have a birthday celebration? And he thought about it. He said, okay. And we did something here in New York City. Shout out to Katra Lounge. And it turned out really well. And I must admit, that was like my first, I'd done events before. I planned events and the whole nine, but it was nothing like this because this was special to me because it was the Purple community. And I was on pins and needles. And when I finally got there with him and people were like, oh my gosh, it was such a good time. I said, okay, maybe something's here. Maybe I can do something here. And so that kind of springboarded from that because I was, like I said, I was nervous because I didn't know how the Purple community would come out because in some instances, the purple posse is just as bad as the Beehive.
Well, let me tell you, on top of that, New Yorkers, especially before Prince's passing, we could be flaky.
Very much so.
All right, because
Very
I
much
used to
so.
organize things and 50 people say they're coming and then 10 come.
Right.
So was that your concern that people wouldn't show up? Or
Yeah,
that you would
I was concerned because it was also a paid event.
okay.
And you know, New Yorkers, you know, unless y'all want to pay $20 and have a buffet and an open bar and a whole nine, expect to get that for $20, and it just doesn't work like that. And that's the thing that people don't understand, that when you're paying for something, you have to think of all the overhead, you have to think of the venue space, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it went well. I was surprised because people were like, oh my gosh, we had a really good time. And I said,
That was
really?
surprising because I always wanted to meet, I'd never, I don't say met Jerome, but I'd never seen him. And when that was announced, it was like, what is going on? You know, it was like a miracle. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it
It was
was
one of my dreams to be able to be in an event with Jerome.
right. And it turned out really well. Fast forward to another year, and I said, you know, my business partner and I, Jill Monroe, shout out to Jill, we were discussing it, and I said, you know what, let's do a brunch. I have a perfect place. And she said, well, what do you have in mind? I said, well, let's get some of the Minneapolis artists to come in and, have the music, and we just celebrate the music. Because in essence, that's really why I created it, because let's be clear, it's been 3 years later and we're still grieving. It's hard to understand the fact that he's not here anymore. He's not going to just pop up at the Grammys as a guest.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He was
a constant. Yeah.
I don't think anybody understands that.
Well, we have, in essence, we don't have anything to look forward to as far as where he's concerned.
That's it.
Right. Yeah, and I said, you know what, let's call this the Purple Paisley Brunch. Mm-hmm. And that's basically how it started. And this year is our second year, technically our third, and it'll be held October. This is the third one. Yeah, what did I say?
17, 18, 19.
But I said technically the second one. It's going to be the second one because the 2017 was the party for Jerome.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's why I said we've been doing it for 3. Okay. Right. It was I like to call it a test run. Okay. So with that being said, it will be held October 19th, and it will be held at Taj Lounge, which is in Midtown Manhattan. And it's going to be, Jerome is hosting, and also a special treat for those who are really into the whole Purple project. Masina Clint from Madhouse, the Madhouse cover girl.
My wife.
Who I wanted to be like when I was younger, because I thought she was stacked, and I was like, I'm stacked. Mm-hmm. I want to be like her. And she will be attending as well. She's our special guest.
Hi, Masina.
Yeah. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a really good time. And with...
Stay away from this guy.
Nope, don't listen to them. I'm a nice guy.
Stay away.
Oh, dear. Oh gosh, here we go.
Trust me.
Well, every year we're doing a different theme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this year's theme is an afternoon in Paris in black and white. Wow. So wear your best black and white Parisian attire. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be polka dots. It could be tulle, crinoline. Anything that's Parisian inspired. That's what it is. And the tickets are $65 per person. It includes the buffet brunch and your bottomless cocktails, sangria, bellinis, or mimosas.
Pancakes?
Yes, there will be purple pancakes upon request. You have to ask for it.
I want purple pancakes.
Okay, so you tell the server when you arrive.
Telling you.
Well, no, I will be busy. I'm producing, so I can't do everything.
Yeah, Clint.
Fine.
Quit your whining. So it's going to be a great event, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I am
so
too.
Get those tickets.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be there. I don't think we've missed one yet in the past.
No. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there will be prizes, there will be raffles for sale, there will be really nice giveaways. I'm excited.
I hope to win.
I hope you do.
So can you tell us what your future vision, if you've thought about any other future, your vision for the future for this event?
Future projects,
I would like to take this,
Well,
for the brunch, I would like to take this worldwide. I would love to do something in Nice.
Ooh.
That would be awesome.
That would be neat.
Nice, France. You funny. I would like to definitely do something there. We've had offers to take it to Belgium, to London, and we're still mulling those offers because it really has to make sense on paper. If it don't make dollars, it definitely will not make sense.
No.
So we're looking into those, and possibly maybe doing something during the celebration in Minneapolis. I mean, things are, it depends. And we're also kind of going to branch out and do other events, not necessarily the brunch. I do have an exclusive. In the upcoming months, we will be doing a Purple Paisley Brunch yoga event.
Oh my.
Okay.
Break my back.
It will be the music of Prince, and it will be a yoga session.
I'm ready.
So I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and stay
I'll go
tuned.
just to watch.
Okay.
I know you will.
Mhm.
Nasty.
Oh, not even that. I want to see her do yoga.
Who, me?
You, my little sister.
Baby, bend over, let me see you do the yoga.
Ew,
Baby, bend over. Baby, bend over. Shout out to Janelle Monáe. So yeah, and I'm excited about the possibilities to come. It's going to be great.
Clint has one other question for you.
Okay.
Oh, yes, yes. When did you realize that you wanted the cat daddy all to yourself?
You just help me.
I think that would be, I realized I wanted Cat Daddy all to myself in February. I think that's what it was.
Lovely answer. Thanks.
That was,
She's lying. She's lying.
well, honey, you have Manisa on the brain, so you weren't thinking about me.
You're two timing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay then, great, we'll see. Uh-huh. You're funny.
All right, well, you know what? You guys, you need to, we're going to put the information in our description for the Purple Paisley Brunch. You guys really need to check it out. It's really a lot
Yes.
of fun. If you're in New York,
Even if you're not in New York.
if you're not, make a trip down to New
And
York. It's actually
there
worth
are
it.
hotel room blocks available. We
Oh,
do
yeah.
have them, so.
Well, yeah, she has a host hotel. Who gives
Yes,
information.
that would be the Holiday Inn downtown Brooklyn, located on Skirmerhorn Street. And when you register, look for, the code is, I want to say PPB, Purple Paisley
Purple
Brunch.
Paisley Brunch, yeah.
Right, so it'll be on the Facebook page, the Purple Paisley Brunch, also in the event invite for the Purple Paisley Brunch.
And
So
it'll be in the description too.
Yes.
We want to help you out as much as possible.
I
Because
appreciate that.
Well, no, not you. I don't want to help you out.
Oh,
I want to help
okay.
them out
Oh,
because they need to get to this party.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's really worth it. It's really
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
You know, it's
It's an experience. It's like a treat for us.
it really is.
And I think for everyone that attends, even if they're newbies, I know from previous events that I've done, the newbies, they have a greader appreciation for the music.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, not only will it be the music of Prince, it would also be the associated artists. So you're looking at music that was produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. You have music from Janet Jackson. You have music from Andre Simone, Madhouse. You know, the whole gamut. So
I would like to see Jimmy Jam and Terry show up. That
Actually,
is
me
my.
I need to give them a hug.
Yeah, because they say.
Contributed so
Yeah.
much to music in general.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
I think there are I have a list of greatest songwriters and producers of our generation. They're definitely my top 5.
yeah, they're fine too. Yeah.
They're my top 5.
They're very important. I don't know if they realize it. It's better if they don't. But honestly,
They'll
You
know
when you
after
realize-
this.
Yeah.
you guys, you're important.
Shout out to
Really are.
Jimmy and Terry.
Respect.
Yes.
But anyway, so keep an eye out. Read the description because everything's going to be in there. All this information that regarding this party is going to be in there.
Yes.
So make sure you get there October 19th.
October 19th, yes.
October 19th. All right.
Yes.
So I'm Clint.
Masina.
And I'm T Boogie, and I'm a Capricorn.
And you know what I feel about Capricorn. But anyway, peace and be wild.
Bye.